So the fourth Ashes test between England and Australia at the MCG finished in under 2 days, something that was described as bad for business by the MCG curators. And the only question really was were now. Former India captain Sunil Gavaskar's rather tongue-in-cheek column has suggested that perhaps it would have gotten a good rating from Jeff Crow, but that's not in fact the case. In fact, we now know what it is the rating that it has been given by the ICC, and well, the venue of the fourth test, the MCG, has been deemed unsatisfactory by the ICC, and what's more, the venue has been handed one demerit point under the ICC pitch and outfield monitoring process, and of course, the rating was handed out by Jeff Crow, who is of course part of the ICC elite panel, and what he said in his assessment was, and I'm reading this is a quote from him, he says, the MCG pitch was too much in favor of the bowlers, with 20 wickets falling on the first day and 16 on the second day, and no batter even reaching a half century. The pitch was unsatisfactory as per the guidelines, and the venue gets one demerit point. Now, obviously, this is very much along expected lines. I did think that potentially this could be even rated poor, which would be the lowest rating, correct me if I'm wrong. So I did think that this would be along those lines as well. But I think unsatisfactory is about fair. It gets a demerit point. What we're also getting to hear is that Cricket Australia will not, in fact, be contesting this particular decision at all. So it will stand as is. And truth be told, it's not really that much of a surprise. Again, it was so skewed in favor of the bowlers that even Josh Tongue, a bowler who at times has looked ordinary in English conditions, was looking like the next coming of Jimmy Anderson at the MCG. So, I mean, obviously you would expect that this is not just down to him suddenly newfoundly developing a skill or control that he has so lacked in his career, but down to the fact that he was bowling on a pitch that was offering insane amounts of support for the pace bowlers. That's again taking nothing away from either the English or the Aussie bowlers, but they did have some very favorable conditions where it was basically a case of let's pitch the ball up there and let the pitch do the rest. And so what that does is not only nullify the batters but also take away from the skill of seam bowling and swing bowling that a lot of these guys do actually possess. Someone like a Scott Boland, Mitch Stark, you can't say that they're not skill bowlers. They would be able to extract good movement even in conditions which might not always be ideal. But this really was, truth be told, this was a nothing pitch, and even the MCG curator, Cricket Australia, everyone has pretty much admitted that we got it wrong, and this is something that will hurt the bottom line. And again, them getting that demerit point and also them getting that unsatisfactory rating, no surprise whatsoever. You couldn't have been expecting a better rating, even though, as I mentioned, that Sunil Gavaskar did himself tongue-in-cheek manner suggest that perhaps it would be rated good, just as the pitch for the first test was somehow rated very good. So I mean, I was obviously not expecting that to be the case. Perth was an anomaly in that regard, and the pitch did ease out significantly. So it was a case of 1.5 days of poor batting, which really led to the undoing of both teams. But then afterwards, you saw that the pitch was fairly good. With Melbourne, though, it didn't ease out at all. And it says everything that even in the fourth innings, England were having to basically play baseball cricket. They were having to play lottery cricket, lottery shots, because they knew there was that one ball that was coming that would have potentially had their name on it. So I totally agree with this rating. No disregard whatsoever for what it is that the ICC have done. And in fact, full credit that they actually stood by and gave it this rating, because there was some expectation that perhaps, there is a little bit of a bias towards fast bowling pitches from the ICC, and in fact a lot of voices within the subcontinent raised that, saying that if a test match in the Indian subcontinent finished in 2 days, then you'd be calling for the head of the groundsman, you'd be saying to give it an unsatisfactory or poor rating. So I do think that this rating is a fair one. The pitch absolutely had nothing in it for the batters, and well, let's just hope we get a better contest in Sydney. Although Sydney, there is rain expectations, so who really knows what exactly is going to happen there. I'll take a couple of your comments before calling it quits. Anshu Mishra is saying that all the travelling fans should also get about 1 crore Indian rupees in compensation by Cricket Australia. I think they're already going to be compensating for the tickets, so they're running in enough losses. But yeah, exactly, the tickets have been compensated anyway, but I don't think anything more is being given. But point well taken either which way. Abhishek Singh says that Head scored 46 runs. The pitch had become good, but the batting was also bad. I mean, sure, the batters also. I do think there's a larger conversation to be had that few, if any, showed patience. But I do think that even the ones who did show patience were getting nothing. Joe Root in the fourth innings was showing plenty of patience. They were absolutely. He ended up getting 15 runs and playing pretty much the same number of balls that the likes of a Duckett and Crawley did. You've got Rajwan Singh says that will Baz and Key retain their place? How about Kumble as English coach? I don't think that's a bad shout at all. As for will Baz and Key retain their place? I think they will, much to the detriment of English cricket. I think they will. But either which way, that's the breaking news update we had for you guys. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us on this live stream. And if you enjoy our work, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on social media too. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.